Hi guys, it's Christian from SkyAck Studios. I told Cody we would do a video today, but I'm running super late. I had too many chimichangas for lunch. But we're gonna do it. I'm not gonna be late. I had something else I wanted to say, but I'm not gonna be late. We're gonna make this video. It's SkyAck from Christian Studios. Reverse that. It's hot outside. I'm coming. No, I'm sorry. I'm late. There was stuff outside. We're gonna film that later, right? Okay. Anyway, today, y'all know who I am, right? We're SkyAck, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You already introduced yourself earlier. You know that? Yeah, I'm Cody Thomas.
Anyway, we have decided to do a video. It's a little bit different than some of our other reviews. We're gonna compare Civil War to Batman vs Superman. I know a lot of fans don't really like Batman vs Superman, and a lot of people really, really like Civil War. And we're going to talk about the similarities and the differences between them to see if we can come to a consensus between why was Civil War so good and why was Batman vs Superman so bad. If you have any input, please put in the comments. We will get back to you on that. We're going to do that, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, starting off, we have Iron Man. I've said this for years. Iron Man is the Marvel's version of Batman. I think that they are very similar characters just in general, but especially in this movie, they both want the superheroes to be under control. Iron Man feels that the Avengers need to have some sort of overarching body so that they can prevent more tragedy than necessary, and then Batman just really wants Superman to be put down. He feels that Superman is too powerful and also needs to be restrained somehow. Captain America, in that case, is more like Superman in this case. Captain America doesn't like the Accords. He doesn't want to have to be policed by this group from the United Nations. He feels that if the Avengers lose the right to choose about where they're supposed to go, they could potentially go where they're not needed, or they will not go where they are needed. And Captain America feels that the best people to choose that are the Avengers themselves. Superman, throughout the movie, he is more powerful than everybody else, but it just happens that he's different. You know, he's not like Zod or the other Kryptonians that, yes, he is more powerful than all of us, and he could kill everybody if he wanted to, but he's not going to. He doesn't want to, and nobody understands that.
But Batman is similar to Iron Man,
yeah,
in a way, because he wants the superheroes to be under control. There are similar things, but overall, Batman believes Superman must be taken down.
Yeah.
The way Iron Man believes that Captain America should be taken down, since he's not agreeing with the government law, with the Accords, and that's where the controversy, the argument, the fights first happens in both movies. Batman has more
arrogance.
Yeah, a little bit of arrogance, but he has a lot of anger.
Anger.
Yeah, he has a lot of anger and issues, to where he is different from Iron Man in a way. But they're both billionaires, and Batman kills people.
In this version, yes, because he's established that they've been criminals their entire lives. Iron Man originally did kill people. He was in the business of doing that, but then when he saw how powerful his weapons were, he decided to stop manufacturing that area of Stark technology.
But the thing I really want to get into is that the reason why both movies are pretty much the same story is because the villain of each movie gets the heroes to fight each other.
They have a
They have Zemo from Civil War. They have Lex
Mhm.
Luthor and Dawn of Justice. Zemo, I understand what Zemo is coming from, but Lex Luthor, I didn't understand.
well,
Well,
th-
as
well,
much.
well, well, Zemo. Okay, so they both have the same goal. They want the superheroes to cease and desist. The reason why Zemo wants it to happen is because his is more personal. During the Battle of Sokovia at the end of Ultron, which if you haven't seen Ultron, don't. It's terrible. Um, but Baron Zemo, or in this case Colonel Zemo, he was about 20 miles from the city of Sokovia. He thought he was fine. His family was okay. But then 2 days after the Battle of Sokovia, he found his father, his wife, and his child all dead in the rubble. And he knew that he personally could not take down the Avengers because he's just a man. So he decided, let's have them kill each other. Luther has a similar bent. He wants them to fight each other, but it's not because of something personally that Superman did to Luther. Luther had a hard childhood where his father was abusive. I don't even know about his mother.
Yeah.
And he, in his warped sense of childhood, he could not believe in the presence of an almighty and loving God if this happened to him. And Superman represents that God that he does not believe in. So he figured the way to um, perpetuate his idea of there being no God, that you have to kill God, you have to kill Superman, which is what he wants Batman to do, but Batman doesn't do that, and then Lex Luthor has a contingency plan where he creates a giant abomination to kill Superman, which Superman ends up killing that anyway.
Right, he wanted to prove that if man can kill God, which Batman didn't, then the devil would do it. That's Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
Overall,
so yeah, this is similar motives, but how they became to those motives are different.
Those moments are different because Zemo is more personal, but Luthor is more about.
It's a symbol. He wants to destroy a symbol.
Yeah, he wants to destroy a symbol, but also I think he's under he's like under the influence. He's under the command of Darkseid, which
Darkseid will be the bad guy in the Justice League.
Yes, and that's pretty much what they're going for. Is that's pretty much what he wants from that is that when Darkseid comes, Superman would be dead already. Which spoiler alert, he is dead in this movie, but
hopefully he comes back. There was a little tidbit at the end where it looked like he was going to come back, which he probably has to because the way the Justice League works, he is one of the founding members, and if they're going to create the Justice League, they kind of need Superman.
Right, but they killed Superman was so that because Superman is all powerful, and that
I think it's to prove a point that even
they have
as powerful as he is, that he can't be taken down.
Yeah, Darkseid couldn't be taken down unless they had Superman with them at their side, which he will come back in Justice League. Mm-hmm. Henry Cavill made a deal that he will come back.
It's all about the rights now.
Yeah. Oh. And the other difference with Zemo is that it's just he doesn't wear his mask like in the comics. Like,
well, that's because they're definitely establishing that it is Colonel Zemo rather than Baron Zemo, that they are different people. But that's what I love about Marvel is that they take all these elements that they're so much like the comic books, but it fits into the MCU's overarching story they have going, and I really like how they mesh those two things together.
Right. And especially the other similarities with both movies is that there's always another hero that steals the show.
Oh yes.
Like with Wonder Woman stole the show.
I know.
As much as
Superman. As much as I love Batman vs Superman, if there was one part of the movie that I would have to say is my favorite, it would be every single scene with Wonder Woman, in and out of costume. She was. Sexy. I was paying attention to her the entire time.
Sexy. Whereas Civil War, Spider-Man and Black Panther or Ant-Man, they all pretty much stole the show.
Yeah.
Like, I love what they did with Spider-Man in Civil War. Mm-hmm. It's very... It's different, but it's same at the same time. It's similar to what they did for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in the other earlier movies. It seemed like kept a good balance uh, where Tom Holland is as Peter Parker. He looks like Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker,
A little bit.
And kept the humorous side with Andrew Garfield's
Yes,
Spider-Man
yes.
when he's Spider-Man.
I definitely feel like they've done a good job with this new Spider-Man. I like his Aunt May. My father has discrepancies about that. Some people are just gonna have it because it's not the old 50-year-old
They just keep getting
Aunt
younger.
May that that they have in the original Spider-Man, and so I understand that because like in the main storyline, the the regular Spider-Man, yeah, Aunt May is like 60 years old, um, but there's
But
so
she's
many
51.
different.
She's 51.
Who, Marissa Tomei?
Yeah.
Well, she looks damn good for 51.
Yeah.
But there are so many different. There's spectacular, amazing, superior. I forget exactly which Spider-Man they're going off for the Marvel one, but I read somewhere that in one of these different universes they all look younger, and so I think that's
Yeah.
what they're going for, is that there is a possible Spider-Man universe where Aunt May is hot.
Yes. Yes. Like he's got like a hot aunt, and Tony's flirting with him. Think of the possibilities.
And what's even funnier about that is that Downey Jr. and Marissa Tomei were in a movie 20 years ago where they played a couple. So that's a whole nother.
That's a whole other issue. But
Oh.
they could do a storyline where Aunt May is a secret agent, because that's where there was a one issue in the Spider-Man comics where she was like an ex-Shield agent, I think. I mean, who knows?
They could pursue that.
Who knows?
I need
But-
to read more comic books.
Yes. But I feel like she's gonna know that Peter is Spider-Man eventually. Because,
Oh, I'm pretty sure she already does.
yeah, because she isn't that old to be what's the word? She's not that old to be blinded by.
Oh yeah, no,
his
I'm pretty
lies
sure she reads him like a book. She's known him
Yeah.
since he was a child.
Yeah, but the way he like lies, he didn't technically lie to her. He just didn't tell her the whole
Oh, yeah,
truth.
like Steve and his giant friend beat me up.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah,
Oh.
but Black Panther, we know he's gonna come back. He stole the show as well, and
It was just so new. It was another new character. He was on Team Iron
Team Iron
Man.
Man.
He was for the Accords. He wanted people to.
it's like an African Batman.
A little bit. There's a lot of people who are saying he's like Batman. Hopefully, when they do the Black Panther solo movie, that Captain America and Bucky will be involved because they're currently staying in Wakanda. So I'm glad that they patched that that gap there, because
Yeah.
at the beginning of the movie, T'Challa wanted to kill Bucky, but now he's storing Bucky. So obviously they've prepared that friendship.
Right, and Michael B. Jordan is gonna be playing He's gonna be playing the villain in Black Panther.
I'm glad he's on the right team now, because last year he was with Fox playing Johnny Storm, and we did a whole video about that. But no, I'm glad that he's now on Marvel's side, that he can have a much better, more profitable career making good movies.
Yes. We don't know who the villain is yet, but we're excited for Black Panther, and we can't wait to see it. And Ant-Man,
Oh,
which we love Ant-Man from
he
his
became
solo.
Giant Man.
Yeah, and Spider-Man's reaction, like,
Oh,
holy shit!
I like that Spider-Man. I think that they're trying to do away with, because in the comics, Spider-Man is said to have hated Star Wars, but I think that because he referenced it in this movie, that he likes it, and that's probably because now that Disney owns both Marvel and Star Wars, that they could even do that line to where they reference Empire Strikes Back. But I think it'd be really cool if Spider-Man loves Star Wars, because I myself love Star Wars.
We all love Star Wars, okay?
I'm sorry, it's my childhood, okay?
Yeah, you're not the only one. Okay?
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
And
But no, this movie raises a lot of issues about, like, one of the biggest things both of them discuss is that collateral damage with destructions of cities. If a superhero or superhero team goes to eradicate a hostile, and there's damage done, that, there's, like I said, collateral damage, are the superheroes held responsible even though they ultimately got to the goal where they destroyed the bad guy? And that's what the whole movie is about. Is they see that yeah, the superheroes are doing good, but if they're causing just as much destruction as the bad guys, how much better are they really?
Yeah.
Um,
Like how much are people safe knowing
exactly.
that well they didn't know that they were causing collateral damage throughout the cities. Like Superman didn't realize the safety of humanity when he was fighting Zod in Metropolis and the Avengers in New York, in Sokovia and Washington D.C. and all. Like they should be thinking about uh, what cause of their actions would lead to the deaths of thousands or millions.
Yeah, but at least there's always the moral things like, well, you have a few million, but then several billion are still alive. Like, is it worth it? And it's tough questions. It's tough stuff to deal with when you have that kind of power. It's like Spider-Man always says, with great power comes great responsibility. That if you are this destructive, but even if you are doing it for good, are the people going to see it that way because you're so different from them? That the X-Men movies tried to do this a whole lot, where Magneto relished in it. He was like, well, they hate us anyway. We might as well conquer them. And um, Professor X is always like, no, no, we need to bring peace with them because we're more similar than we are different. And, that's a whole other storyline. But yeah, overall, while they do have a lot of similarities, both movies, the end goal for both movies is definitely very different. In Civil War, it literally creates a civil war between the two superheroes. Captain America has his set of Avengers, and then Iron Man has his set of Avengers, and so they split off and to create two separate groups. But as explained in the letter that Captain America sends, and he frees all of his superheroes, that while they are on different teams, Captain America is always there to help whenever they need it, which will
Yeah.
be great for Infinity Wars because they're going to need everybody they can get to help do Infinity Wars.
Yes.
So they haven't unified yet. So the movie clearly established its separation between the two heroes, whereas with Dawn of Justice, they had them fight each other, so it looks like they were being opposed to each other, and then they fought side by side next to each other, and it will eventually create the Justice League. So I guess maybe their overall goals might be the same, but in each individual movie, the goals are definitely different.
Yes. Similar. Good. There are similarities, but still a few differences between Marvel and DC's films. Which I'm actually glad that Jeff Johns is now the news.
Oh yeah,
Is now the new.
he's like the Kevin
he's the new
Feige from.
for Marvel Studios. He's like the new Kevin Feige, the new boss for DC Films, which is good because he's the writer of all DC comics. Well, not all DC comics, but
hopefully, if Marvel's doing something good, the DC will start doing something good too.
Yeah, like he'll get everything straightened out in the DC films. Like Justice League won't be as dark as Dawn of Justice.
I really hope it's not. That was another thing I wanted to mention was that you can analyze both these movies and be like, there's this element, this element, this element, that there's all these things that are the same. But in the end, overall, there are people that will still say that Civil War is better, and they will still say that Batman vs Superman is terrible. And I think that that's because it's not about the individual elements that they have; it's how it fits together and the overall tone you create with those elements. Because with Marvel, even with their more serious movies like Civil War, like Winter Soldier, compared to their less serious ones like Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, they still have that level of comedic relief every once in a while that it doesn't distract from the story and it goes with the movie. With DC, they've tried to eradicate all the humor from their movies, and I think it's to their detriment because they try so serious. They try to be so serious in a movie where if you clearly think about the plot of the movie, you have an alien versus a man in a suit made of an alien rock. I really don't see the seriousness in this plot. So I don't know.
Superman is a much lighter character than Batman.
Oh yeah,
but they
sure,
really made him
sure.
dark in Dawn of Justice, which they need to lighten up and put more sense of humor into Justice League because you got other heroes as well like Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash.
I can't wait for that.
Yes. I am a little pissed off that Grant Gustin isn't going to be the Flash in Justice League.
As much as I love Grant Gustin to play the Flash, I really feel like DC is not helping themselves out here. Whereas with Marvel, their movies and their TV shows are all in the same universe, so everything's connected because everything that they're doing is connected. How it has been even from Iron Man.
But they said something that in the DC universe that the movies and the TV shows is all like a multiverse
That-
somehow.
I think that's a bad cop out. I mean, it works because there's like the Crisis on Infinite Earths is established by Flash that there is a way that you can still say that they're part of the same universe is not the right word because it's different.
The same
different-
multiverse. Or,
Yeah. So they're all connected, but it's in a slightly different way. So you can have multiple Flashes and you can have multiple Batmans or whatever. But I think it gets confusing for fans. They're like, well, what's this Flash or what's this Batman?
Well,
they need to make it one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, they did explain that in the Flash when they were going to Earth 2,
Yeah.
that John Wesley's ship's Flash exists in another universe as well.
The 1990s.
Yes,
Flash?
the 1990s. You remember when they were going through the portal, they saw Supergirl, the Flash.
Yeah.
Yes, like they explained that fully. Like there is more than one Flash in.
I need to watch that again.
Yes.
But no, that's really cool.
Yes, there is more than one Flash in the multiverse, and I wish that Deadpool and the X-Men and Fantastic Four will.
There's so many crossovers we could do. We could have a Spider-Man, Deadpool movie. I really want them to do the Incredible Bagman, but they're never going to because Fox and Fantastic Four and Spider-Man are not in the same universe. And I just think Bagman's hilarious. I think it'd be a great gag, especially for a Spider-Man movie to have Bagman. But no, they're not going to do it.
But hopefully they'll make an agreement where, like, they would share the same universe. Although it won't really make sense because the X-Men movies they had no mention of like the alien invasion, the
X-Men they
Avengers.
can't, but with the Fantastic Four, they keep rebooting that shit over and over again. That they could just create a new set of Fantastic Four in the Marvel universe.
For Fantastic Four, they can do it again
because they haven't established a
but they've
movie series. Whereas with X-Men, they've already established their own.
Yeah, they've already established their own franchise, so they need to work something out. And Deadpool is already a great movie, whereas Ryan Reynolds still wants to play Deadpool. Like, you can't reboot him at all because
I don't think they're going to. I think Deadpool's gonna. I think Ryan Reynolds is gonna milk that shit for as long as he can.
The multiverse does exist in the Marvel universe as well, where there is more than like one Spider-Man or one Captain America or X-Men, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas they can do like a multiverse somehow. In some way.
They're going to get all the rights, though.
Yeah, but they're going to get all the rights.
Until Marvel has all the rights, they're never going to do that because Fox is such a stickler for their rights. But you'd think after their movies being really bad recently, because the Fantastic Four reboot was terrible, Days of Future Past and First Class have been okay, but, I mean, hopefully they do something really good with Apocalypse, because it looks pretty good, but Batman vs. Superman looked pretty good, too, and look where that came out. But let's just hope that they'll do something.
Yeah,
right.
Hopefully things will turn around eventually.
Because if Apocalypse does good, and then Old Man Logan will do good, hopefully they can bring back the precedent they brought. Because the original X-Men movies, the first ones that came out like 15 years ago, those are actually not too bad. But then you get to the third one, and the third one is really bad.
Yeah. And then X-Men Origins Wolverine, that was pretty bad as well.
Yeah, we're
it didn't make sense.
That doesn't exist.
That doesn't exist in the X-Men universe.
No.
Because
that was the whole point of Days of Future Past. Days of Future Past, well, as good as the point they were trying to make with Days of Future Past, that none of the X-Men before that is valid. They erased X-Men 3, which is good. They erased Origins, which is good. But they also erased the first X-Men and the second X-Men that were actually pretty good. Does the Wolverine, the solo karate Wolverine movie where he was in Japan, is that before?
That was before Days of Future Past.
Okay, so that was eradicated too. So it's just like everything they've created, they've just said that this doesn't exist anymore. So I mean, hopefully
it could exist. Just it just turns around a little differently in the different timeline. I mean, who knows?
If they want to explain all that, yeah.
Yeah, if they want to explain all
that.
They
could go at that angle, yeah.
Like things are different now. Like they explained in Deadpool and
Deadpool.
We'll see. Yeah, and we'll see in the X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, hopefully X-Men Apocalypse will be really good. Yeah. They've got a lot of good stuff going on. I probably am going to personally really like Jean Grey because I love Sophie Turner. They're going to do Psylocke. I'll probably really love Psylocke.
And Cyclops and Nightcrawler. Quicksilver is like my favorite.
Oh yeah, I love this version of Quicksilver. He's so funny. Like I love how in Days of Future Past when they're in the Pentagon and they're trying to capture free Magneto, he's like, my brother knew a guy that did that, and then in this one they confirm for sure that in the movie universe Magneto is definitely his father. Um, so
Yeah.
all those little tidbits for the fans who actually read the comics.
Yes.
I need to read more comics. But yeah, hopefully it'll be really good. It looks really good.
Well, hope you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to SkyAck Studios.
I know
Drop
it's
a
all
like.
over the place, but hopefully you do like it.
Yes. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Facebook in the description below. And don't forget to keep it SkyAck. We'll be making more videos.